This is the Brink and Roll Podcast. With your hosts, Chibbs and Mad Dog. Hey, how's everyone going? It's me, Chibbsy here, solo today. Now, I did have a whole sort of setup here. We were going to talk about all the games, Bullets game, Kings game, Perth game. But with the season pretty much over, I thought I've got to do a solo episode. Mad Doggy's not available, so it's going to do 7 thoughts on the season. Now, I saw a post come through on one of the Hawks groups earlier, kind of gave a rundown of where the Hawks are at this point of the season. So let me read this. It says, this is the run to the playoff line. We're on 10 wins with 5 to play. We have Adelaide this Thursday at home, New Zealand away, Kings at home, Melbourne United away, Tassie away. If we win 4 of these, that takes us to 14 wins. If Tassie are beaten in their 3 remaining games, they will finish on 13 wins. If New Zealand win 2 of their remaining 4 games, they will also finish on 13 wins, which means we will get into the playoffs. So we pretty much just have to win everything. Adelaide aren't looking the strongest at the moment, either in Melbourne United. Kings do look good. New Zealand, we can't beat for the life of us, although Sam Menenga's injured now. And Tassie, we have to be. Tassie's like, you have to beat Tassie. Not impossible. It's not impossible, but we'll know 100% come Thursday night when we play the 36ers at the Sandpit. I'll still be enjoying it. Still love watching the Hawks play. I'll be there Thursday. Be there for the Kings game at home. Be watching all the other ones. That's where we're at. So I thought, let's just have a little bit of a look back at the season, where things went wrong from last year to this year. And I've been sort of trying to think about it over the last few days, get it down to 7 points. I'm sure everyone's got their own ideas for what they are, but this is just what sort of came to my head. If you've got other thoughts, hit us up. YouTube comments, Spotify. You can message us, all the socials, Instagram, TikTok, wherever. Let us know what you think as well. Whether you're a Hawks fan or not, just a basketball fan, you might have opinions completely different to mine, and very keen to hear what people's thoughts are. And I think I saw a stat saying this will only be the 3rd time a reigning champ has not made the playoff. Not a good stat to be a part of, but it's not over. It's not over till it's over. But let's get into these thoughts, eh? All right, let's start at number 7. I'm going to work my way down to number 1. Number 7, I'm going to throw out the FIBA Intercontinental Cup that we played at the very start of the season. We were at the NBL Blitz in Canberra, which was an up and down little preseason tournament for us. The biggest down being Davo's eye injury that he copped in one of those games. But we left Canberra, went straight to Singapore to play in a bizarre international competition. I was all for it. I was so keen. And we were very unlucky, but also the vibe of what happened in that tournament has stuck with us all year. And there was just something about not being able to get off to a winning start over there. It was exciting seeing McGee playing, but, we started to have questions about J-Rock at that point, and we looked good but couldn't score and couldn't stop runs, and it was a worrying thing. So, not to mention just all of that crazy international travel that had to be done at the start of the season. I feel like it's the same thing. New Zealand always tend to go on these US trips at the start of the season, and they're going well. And then they have to go do these crazy big things, and it all falls apart. I feel like it kind of happened, but that's my first thought was the Intercontinental Cup a bit of a curse for us? Did it sort of hinder our preparation going into a season where we were going to have a target on our backs the entire time? So that's my number 7. My number 6, I mentioned it just before, losing Davo during the NBL Blitz game and him missing a huge, huge chunk of the start of the season completely killed momentum. I feel like that he was carrying over from the season before and the season before that. Just seemed to keep getting better and better, and there was all the talk, there were all the interviews about Davo being handed the keys, he's going to be running the point, and Tatum had all the faith in him, and then bang, he gets poked in the eye, and the communication wasn't great around the getting poked in the eye thing. We're all like, it's an eye poke. Why isn't he playing? Is he back this game? No. Is he back this game? No. And it kept going on and on and on. And we didn't know what was going on about it. And we're like, is he ever going to come back? Is he blind now? What is going on? And eventually he did come back, but he has to wear the goggles, the glasses. I think the last game against Perth, it's the first time maybe other than one quarter since he's come back that we've seen him play without the goggles, and they don't... I don't know if they hurt his game. He doesn't feel as confident in them. They're moving around. It's uncomfortable. He's not the same in the glasses, that's for sure. The glasses apparently are worth about 5 turnovers a game. Look, I know he's a risky player, and the more he's got the ball, the more risk there is and the more likelihood there is of mistakes. But just not the same player coming back from this injury as he was last year, the year before. Wasn't looking to attack the basket as much, wasn't as interested in getting his scores up. I know he got a triple-double and almost another triple-double this season, but he was teetering on triple-doubles every game. And then it's the offense sort of dried up. He's trying to get everyone involved to his detriment. But that injury it had a domino effect that really affected how the Hawks were going to play, especially with a tough start to the season and being the reigning champs. It was always going to be hard, and not having him there definitely made a big difference to how the Hawks were going to play. That was our thought number 6. That kind of led me into my thought number 5. The signing of Ja'Cory McLaughlin, J-Rock. Now, Tatum had been coaching over in Indonesia. J-Rock had been playing for him, and he thought, look, this is a handy dude, not going to cost us a lot of money. He can come off the bench and run the second unit when Davo isn't on the court. All of a sudden, Davo's injured and J-Rock is starting, and talk about not being up for it. He was a ball stopper. There was no confidence at all in any of his play. It didn't fit. Harvey all of a sudden had to do everything to try and keep us in the game. Just totally not up to NBL standard. I think he's playing in the G League or something now, but yeah, not a great fit, and was painful to watch play. Definitely a big miss in the recruitment stage, and yeah, not the stutter step you want at the start of a season at all. To get your import signing wrong is rough. Like, so many teams did it this year. Perth, South Melbourne, Brisbane. You would say Cairns did it as well, but they stuck with their admiral. But there were a lot of people getting cut. Adelaide cut someone as well, I'm pretty sure. But the signing of J Rock was a big error for the Hawks, that's for sure. Thought number 4 for me was, we knew this was going to be a thing, and we were hoping that the signing of JaVale McGee would plug that up plus more. But Sam Froling missing most of the season, and then having his injury replacements be unplayable in Harry Froling and Jonah Antonio, was just such a huge thing. We've seen this now that Sam Froling came back and looks as good as ever and is playing big minutes. Just looks top quality, like absolute one of the best bigs in the NBL. And we all got a bit excited. JaVale McGee had signed. We were all excited. That's cool. Sam Froling's injured. When he comes back, we're going to have 2 of them together, but they don't play together. They tried that for a very short period of time and it was not working. They really have to play one or the other. And Sam Froling's it's a different game. Just that being able to back down defenders and turn and get under the basket is second to none. No one does it better. Huge miss for the Hawks was not having Sam Froling for most of this season. And I'm just going to put a little caveat in there as well with Jonah Bolden's season-ending injury. I know Jonah Bolden wasn't, lighting up the league or anything, but I feel like he was going to work his way into it throughout the season and would have been important for us as a secondary big or, to be able to play someone next to McGee while Froling was out in that power forward position. Great rebounder. Jonah Bolden, season-ending injury, kind of went under the radar, but I think was actually pretty devastating for the Hawks. Number three, I'm going to put 2 things into my number 3 thoughts. I'm going to say turnovers, rebounding, both way down this season, which is pretty crazy when you think that we signed a 3-time NBA champion, Olympic gold medalist, JaVale McGee, who's about 7'8", and we are getting less rebounds a game than we were last season. You think just the sort of bulldog players that we had last year that would just fight for rebounds, Darius Days, Lee, Ulbrich, just always in there, throwing themselves around to pull a rebound, especially Days. Days was just unbelievable at getting in there and boxing out way bigger players than himself. Just such a strong dude and pulling in so many important rebounds, both ends. Our rebounds dropped almost 4 to 5 rebounds a game lower this season than last. That's just second chance looks that you're not getting. Turnovers, my God, they went through the roof. I think last year we were averaging around 9. and this year's about 14. And some games it feels like it's 30. It's easily we're giving other teams between 8 and 15 points a game. Just 3 points, bad turnovers. It's been the most. Yeah, I mean, it's number 3 on my list, but it's probably the thing that frustrates me the most watching it in person on TV has been the turnovers going up, the rebounding going down. Yeah, just eats away at me as I'm watching it. Yeah, not the way you want it to go. Number 2, it's a person's name. And number 2 is Trey Kell the third. Trey Kell, our point guard from last year, averaging almost 18 points a game, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Man, there was no replacing him. It would have been so interesting to get someone like Matt Hurt that we were linked to in the off season. I know not a point guard, but just to get the points, the same sort of points from somewhere, because the offense has been just terrible this season. Harvey's been in slumps. QJ has been a bit of a savior, but he came in, late. He wasn't here at the start of the season. McGee's had big games and then games where he hasn't been in double digits. And I just feel like last year when we were watching Trey Kell play, he had games where he would just hit the front of the rim all the time. You're like, it's not his day today. It's not going to happen. But then Harvey would be good. But he still was able to run an offense and bail teams out and be good late in the clock, and just a smart player as well. Defensively, he was solid, but yeah, I mean, it's an obvious one. But yeah, we didn't replace him. We didn't replace him with any of those stats anywhere, which, I get really hard to do. He's a first team NBL player, but we've definitely missed that. And number 1 on my thoughts this season. Number 1, I'm just going to put it down to the bench. Last season we had such an incredible bench that it really made no difference. The rotations, it was almost a cheat code for the coaches, because the rotations, you could just be like, at this minute, we're going to see this change. The other teams knew it. It didn't matter. It didn't matter at all, because you could bring Days, Lee, Ulbrich, Blanchfield off the bench, and you knew you weren't going to lose anything defensively. You weren't going to lose anything scoring. Blanchfield, he's come good the last couple of games. He's scored a few points, but other than that, hasn't been able to hit the side of a barn all season. It's such a shame, because you really need 10 points out of that dude, especially this season. But last year, so many games that Lee just would hit 4 threes, and it was absolute game changer. Days pulling rebounds down, hitting threes, being strong, just boxing out. A small ball 5 with Days was just another option that we don't really have. So I looked it up, and our bench averaged around 35 points a game last year, and this year it averages below 25. So, we haven't been blowing out in a lot of games, but there's over 10 points missing off the bench. I like Bales. I think Bales has just got so much energy, and I love how he gets up and down the court and will pick up full court and make life a nightmare, but no scoring. It's like if QJ or Harvey or McGee don't have it, we're relying on Wani to hit 3-pointers. Basically, it's been slim pickings as far as scoring goes. So my number one miss for the season has been the strength of our bench. Just has not been up to scratch. This has been a depressing episode. I hope we beat Adelaide and everyone else coming up, but if we don't, Mad Dog and I'll be back. We will do some more seasoned wrap-ups before we start maybe reevaluating, looking at what we do next season. But thanks for listening. Make sure you're following us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. And yeah, let me know. Let me know what your thoughts are. That's my 7 thoughts. See you later.